morning. How's everybody doing? You're tired? Why are you tired? It's too early? Huh. That's interesting. Well, hey, good morning. My name is Allison Anderson. I am an instructor here at NEO A&M College. And I love this place. I love the people, and I love the students. So now we're going to talk about self-management. You all talked a little bit about D2L and web product just a little bit ago, yes? With the MAT squared, yep. Okay, so the first self-management tip that we're going to talk about today is something that's very important to me. I'd like all of you to read this meme. Okay, it says, if you could do your job and stay off your cell phone, that would be great. Did you know that the average college student takes 15 hours of courses a semester, a freshman? And if you were to times that by 3, what's 15 times 3? 45, okay? If you were to times that by 3, that's how much time you should be spending on those 15 hours a week, okay? What is our generation's biggest hindrance when it comes to school and our job? Our cell phones. So I want everybody to grab your cell phone. I want you to take it out right now. Show it to me. Everybody? People in the back? Yeah, you mentors. Same thing. Okay? I want you to put it in your back pocket right now. Hey, right now. Well, put it in your front pocket. Put it on the floor if you don't have a pocket. Okay. So, if we could stop talking now, that'd be great. Great. So, like you've heard these past couple days, Camp Row is worth a credit, right? So you're going to get a credit and a grade for this whole 3 days, correct? And the seminars. So what happens if you don't show up to seminars? You fail. What happens if you don't do your work on D2L? Fail, okay? Mentors in the back, does it look good if you fail an FYE class? No, probably not, okay? So we just got rid of the biggest hindrance that our generation has, I think. I see somebody with their legs up. Yeah. I got you, girl. I got you. Okay, so now that we got that taken care of, let's put our computers away as well, please. Yeah, girl, I can see it. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to talk about self-management. Self-management as a college student is so important. Who's seen this meme on Facebook or Twitter or any other site that you all look at, right? Very cool, right? We love this little kid. What's he saying? Success, okay? We're going to talk about self-management, really 5 main areas of self-management that's going to help you as a college student today, okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is stand up. Without whining. Without whining. I want you to raise your hands to the sky. I want you to go to your right. Yeah, right is that way. Yeah. Now I want you to go to your left. Now I want you to jump. Now sit down without whining. Okay. So, hey, phones away. So, if you're going to be successful in college, self-management is a huge tool that you can use, okay? We got rid of one hindrance of distraction in our generation just a little bit ago. What do you think? What else are distractions with self-management in college? Yell them out. Relationships. What else? Work. Family, okay? If you are here and you have a family, that's a hindrance. If everybody could be quiet, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, and remember that you're in a college class, so you talking while the instructor is talking, that's probably not the best thing for you to do, okay? So, success is so important in college, especially when it comes to self-management, okay? We're going to talk about 5 main areas today of self-management so that you can be successful. This place, NEO, is a great way to figure out how you manage yourself and how to better that. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, I'm going to show you a video that is very, very special to me and to a lot of the classes that I show it in. The title is called Make Your Bed. Okay, so I want you to take a piece of paper and a pen out, or pencil. Piece of paper and a pen or pencil, without whining. Okay, when we start this video, I want you to write down one word, like just a whole bunch of one-worded sentences that you get from this video, okay? So just descriptive words from this video that you're taking away from it, okay? We're getting our sound to work, and as we're doing that, I'll talk to you a little bit more about what I do on campus. I teach in the agriculture
And the mini
department.
task completed.
Never
Making
mind.
your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to change the world. Start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we call them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh. swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and one special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down in the mud flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive the freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction to rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, a King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
Okay, raise your hand if you made your bed this morning. About half of you did that, okay? Now, raise your hand and tell me 2 words that you got out of that. 2 words. Oh, did you not have a piece of paper and a pen out? Yes. Never give up. What else? Yes. Discipline. What else? Equalizer. Hope. Sorry. Predators. Predators, yes. What else? Change. Okay? Every word that we just said there, is that not a way of self-management? Change. Be what? What'd you say? Courage. Courage, okay? All of those are so important when it comes to self-management, okay? So, next, we're going to talk with 2 very special people in the lives of NEO, especially in the Ag department, because they are 2 of our students that graduated in 2015. Yes. Okay, so this is Haley and Shelby Saul. Everybody say hi, Haley and Shelby. Hi. Okay, so what similarities do you see in these 2? Are they twins? Are you guys twins? Yeah, they're twins. Okay, so Haley and Shelby came to us in the fall of 2013 and graduated in the spring of 2015. Both of them played soccer for NEO. Both of them graduated with general ag degrees. Yes. And then went on to Oklahoma State University and graduated with their bachelor's degree in the spring of 2016. 17. Oh, good deal. Got that right. Okay, so we are going to play a little bit of a true-false game with them. They both have a true sign and they both have a false sign, okay? I'm going to ask them 10 questions and they're going to answer either true or false, okay? I want you to see the differences and similarities in their answers, okay? Girls ready? First question. I study and retain information better while in a group setting. Shelby's true and Haley is false. Okay. At my time in college, I woke up at least an hour before my first class started. Good, true. That's a good self-management habit to have. My self-motivation comes from other people who I look up to. Good, true. Okay. I was assertive with group projects. Similarities there, right? Okay, I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I was a freshman at NEO. Okay, both false. Motivating others is easy for me. Okay, I could have allocated more time to study for my classes at NEO. All right? NEO taught me how to be assertive with my education. Okay? I loved every class that my major required me to take. Okay? NEO boosted my self-esteem for the better. Okay, so what were some similarities and differences from the twins here? What? Did they both study better? Or did they both study the same? Did they both have this kind of same management self-skills? Like getting up before school starts? An hour before at least, right? Okay? Each, Shelby and Haley, I'm going to give them a couple minutes. I want them to tell you if they could change anything about their time at NEO, what it would be and why. Just a little bit of a tip for you. Shelby, go first.
So when I first came to NEO, Haley can probably attest to this, all of our friends from high school went to Oklahoma State. We were really the only two out of our friend group that went anywhere else. And so I know for me when I got here, even though I was playing soccer, I really was not that happy to be here. I kind of just wanted to go to OSU. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get through my time here and then I'll get to OSU and it'll all be okay. But I remember the day that I graduated, and I think the day before I graduated, I was in Allison's office almost in tears because I didn't want to leave this place. It changed my life. Whenever I got here, Allison can probably attest to this. I would have never been sitting right here doing this right now. I would have told her, absolutely not, I'm not talking to those students. I did not have very much self-confidence. I couldn't have presented myself in front of you like I am today. I couldn't have given you any advice because I wouldn't have even came up here. So this place literally changed my life personally. And if you let it, it will change yours too. I know sitting here, you probably don't think that. A lot of you are probably, here just to play sports or just to get your gen eds. Whatever the reason is that you're here, just make the most of your time here because I promise you, you will miss your JUCO days. You will. You probably don't think it now, but you will. So let this place change your life. Just be open to it.
Okay, yeah, kind of like Shelby said, we pretty much just came here and we were like, yeah, we're gonna play soccer, we're on scholarship, this is gonna be great, but we're just trying to get through here and get to go hang out with our friends at Oklahoma State and whatnot. But getting here and getting into the swing of things, it changed so quickly for me at least. Like she said, if it wasn't for Allison and the things I got involved with, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't be back here as an assistant coach for the soccer team. I wouldn't be doing any of those things, but Some advice to you guys is get involved. Seriously, get involved. I know a lot of people say that, but me getting involved outside of soccer was probably the biggest thing that helped me. I was in Aggie Society, I was an Ag Ambassador. I spoke in front of students constantly as an Ag Ambassador, which was totally outside my comfort zone if you know me well. I'm usually, that people call me, they say I'm the more quiet twin out of the two of us, but just getting involved and letting yourself like get to a next level of, I don't know, of greatness that you didn't know and being successful and things like that. I don't know that I would change anything about my experience at NEO because it was so great, but it took me stepping outside of my comfort zone and outside of my teammates and things like that to make new friends is what made my experience so great and why I'm back here working at NEO. So the only advice I have for you guys is to get involved, step out of your comfort zone, and don't be afraid to make new friends, even if it means you don't have the same friends you started out with. I think me and Shelby both can speak for that, so thank you.
Hey, give them a round of applause. So thank you so much. And you know, the cool thing about this is they graduated in 2015. Haley is now our assistant soccer coach and helps with she lives in the dorm. What's your title there? Resident director. She's a resident director in the quads. And Shelby just got hired on here in our recruitment department. So really cool thing is if you learn how to manage yourself, you get cool jobs like theirs. Okay? Thank you girls so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, give them another round. Yeah. Go for it. So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of self-management. Here are 5 spectrums of self-management that we're going to talk about today. Motivation, time management, assertiveness, self-esteem, and career development. Those are 5 big self-management tools that we see here at NEO and we want to help you with. All right, so here we go. And I have funny memes to go along with them. I like memes, okay? So, self-motivation. Raise your hand if you had a lot of self-motivation this morning. I did. I love it. Yes, self-motivation. Why didn't you have self-motivation this morning? Because it was raining, and it's not fun to walk in the rain. I will tell you this part of Oklahoma is considered in drought-like conditions, so I'm loving it. I don't care if my hair looks like a poodle. I love it. So, first thing that we're going to talk about is setting goals, okay? You all are so important to the success of this college. Why? Because you are setting goals. No one woke you up this morning, got you dressed, spoon-fed you breakfast to get you here. Your goal is a college education. Is that right? Can we both agree on that? Yes, that is your goal, okay? So you have set that goal and you have pushed forward. That's why you're here, okay? Another goal you have is to get ahead, right? I'm sure all of you want to get ahead. So you being in Camp Row, you getting this credit and then taking those 4 seminar classes in the first 8 weeks, you're getting ahead, okay? You're setting a goal. Next, establish rewards, okay? So I'm very weird. I'm just a very weird person. One of my favorite rewards to give myself is something called Sleepy Time Tea. Does anybody know what that is? Yeah, my girls in the back do, yeah. Okay, Sleepy Time Tea, it's just a tea. I mean, it has chamomile in it, but I look forward to it every single day. What else do I look forward to? Coffee, okay? Those might seem like small rewards to you, but they're big rewards to me, all right? You need to figure out what rewards you would love when you reach small goals, okay? For me, getting up in rain, that's not a big deal. I love it. It's awesome. I love rain. But working a 14-hour day, that requires some coffee, okay? So that's a reward. Expect failure and redirect it into a positive, okay? I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. You will fail. You will fail here, and that's okay, all right? But turn that into something positive, all right? When Shelby and Haley were here, there was a student in their class who came here not a very good home life, didn't come here with any money, really basically homeless and living in their car. The student was living in their car. That student walked away here, NEO, with a 4.0, okay? Did she have failures? Absolutely, okay? Was she set with some setbacks? Absolutely, but she took them and she turned them into a positive. And now she's a vet. Learn to say no. Raise your hand if you hate saying no to people. I hate saying no to people. You know, one of the biggest reasons why we say no, why don't we say no to people? We don't want to disappoint them, right? We want to make them feel better because we're givers, right? We want to help them. So make sure that you're being selfish for your education. Make sure that you're saying no to things that you probably can't do well because you're so busy, okay? Seek support. I have been on a lot of college campuses, okay? I've been on a lot of junior college campuses. I've been on a lot of university campuses. This campus, by far, is light years ahead of support and resources than a lot of the colleges and universities that I've been in, okay? We have student support services. We have computer labs. We have everything that we have are for you, okay? Seek that support. That's our job. Our job is to support you in your education, okay? Cultivate discipline, okay? You're going to have to learn how much time it's going to take you to study, okay? You're going to have to learn how much energy it's going to take for you to get through these classes, to get through this education. Will it be hard? Absolutely. Will it not be fun? Yes. It's not going to be fun in some cases, but like Shelby and Haley said, this far in their life, best 2 years of their life, okay? And that's including Oklahoma State. Background, okay? Knowing what your background is and not making that a big deal, right? Not making where you came from, not using that as a crutch if it's a bad thing, okay? But using it as a pusher for you to set those goals and to have motivation. Just like this little mouse, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's so true, okay? This place is not going to kill you. It's going to help you build self-management skills so that you could better be educated in the future. All right, time management. This is Benjamin Franklin. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Okay? By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Right? Time management. Raise your hand if you're wonderful at time management. Raise your hand if you're not very good at time management. Yeah. Okay? I even have some sophomores back there that will admit that they're not very good at time management. Okay? That's so important to build here. That's so important to build here. Be honest with unproductive habits. I made you put something away at the first part of this lecture. That was your phone, right? Some of you still have that out, which is a little disrespectful, but that's okay. It's not okay, but if you still have those habits, get rid of them and get rid of them now so that you're productive here at NEO. Set deadlines. Raise your hand if you're a deadlines person, you're a list person. Yes, if you're not, you should be. Write to-do lists, write deadlines, use your planner. How awesome is that planner that you all got for Camp Row? That's so cool. Use that. Use D2Ls to set deadlines. Look at your schedule ahead of time. Know what you're going to have to do that week. Know what is coming up. Our ag ambassadors like Haley and Shelby talked about, there are faces in the ag department. That's who we want people to see when we take them to different events like the crab boil and different things in the community. And so they have to know where they're going, what they're doing, when they're doing it, and how to dress. Right, girls? Avoid procrastination. Raise your hand if you are a procrastinator. Yeah, okay. About 90% of all college students are. But the cool thing is, college teaches you to stop procrastinating, and by the time you graduate, that stat goes down to about 17%. So 90% of you as freshmen, 17%, it'll go down to 17% procrastination by the time you're done with college. Rewards, okay? If you are on time and if you have good management, reward yourself. Coffee is a great reward. Raise your hand if you drink coffee. All of you should raise your hand. Drink coffee. Have confidence in your priorities. Have confidence in knowing that you're here for a reason. Have confidence in knowing that you are brought to NEO because you want an education, okay? There are many people around this world that do not get the ability to have an education, not even a high school education, but you do, okay? Know that. Be persistent. Be okay with being persistent, okay? My favorite type of student is the student that bugs the crap out of me. Why? It shows me that they care, okay? Not every instructor here is great at grading. I'm one of them. I suck at grading, right? My kids in the back, yeah, I suck at grading, okay? Probably because I teach 21 hours, but that's a different story. So if I know that I'm not good with grading, my favorite student is the one that comes up to me and says, Allison, you said you were going to have this test graded last week. It's Friday. We took it 2 weeks ago, okay? Be persistent, not just with your instructors, but with yourself. Be okay with being persistent, okay? That's time management. Assertiveness. Raise your hand if you know what assertiveness is. What's assertiveness? What's that mean? Great. Being forward and up front and confident in your decisions, right? Being confident in your decisions, okay? If you have to work with a group on a group project for anything, whether that's a class, whether that's a club, an organization, a team, whatever, you need to make sure that someone has some sort of assertiveness. And if nobody does, that needs to be you, okay? So, communicate and be specific when you're assertive, okay? There's a lot of aspects about college and going to college that is not fun to deal with, okay? Nobody wants to sit in the financial aid office and do FAFSA. I don't, right? That's not fun. But the cool thing is we have awesome people in our financial aid department that will sit with you and help you through it, okay? But you have to be assertive with what you want and what you need when it comes to that type of stuff, okay? When you're enrolling, when you're working on group projects or papers, that's very important. Respect others' opinions. When you come to college, no one, absolutely no one, will have the same opinion on every single topic that is in this world. Political, emotional, anything, okay? No one will have the exact opinion that you do on everything. And that is okay. That's what makes America great. That's what makes this country the best country to live in, because we can have different opinions. And that's awesome. Learn to take genuine complaints from others, okay? That is so important. Do not get emotional, do not get upset, do not think that your world is falling down just because somebody complains or gives you a little bit of constructive criticism. That's what's going to build this thing called tough skin, okay? And be okay with compliments. Be okay with somebody telling you you did a good job. Have control over your emotions. Raise your hand if you have a problem with that. Okay, this is where you're going to learn how to take care of that. Having control over your emotions. Denzel Washington, he is like one of my top 3 favorite actors. He said, I don't want to fall back on anything. If I'm going to fall, I want to fall forward. Okay? If you do not have assertiveness, you will fall, and it's not going to be forward. Okay? All right, self-esteem. Do not expect you to be perfect, okay? You will not be perfect, I promise you. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to learn to be the best you that you can. And the best place to do that is here at NEO A&M College. All right? Focus on strengths. Focus on your positive strengths. Not necessarily always trying to better your weakness, but focus on your positive strengths. There's so many students in the ag department and, well, really everywhere. Any of our ag students, they have so many awesome strengths, but one that I see is grit, okay? And I see a lot of grit in this generation. Use that and do it. Be gritty, okay? Be gritty. That's a great strength to have. Don't criticize yourself for others, okay? Don't be mean to people. That's just not nice. We don't do that. You should have learned that in first grade. Do not compare yourselves to others, because you are the only person that can control you, okay? You are the only person that can have your self-esteem, all right? So important. Should not depend on a boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, parent, aunt, uncle, cousin, nephew, niece, whatever, friend. It should not depend on them. It should depend on you. And then readiness. being ready to start next chapters in your life, being ready to emotionally be prepared for that, okay? Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. And the great thing about NEO, we have no idea what people have been through. I love the start of school. I love the start of every semester because I get to figure out who my underdogs are in classes. I get to figure out the kid who's worked their way through high school, working a 40-hour week, didn't have much parent support, didn't have much support at all, and rocked my soils class with an A. Okay? I love to find the underdogs. Those are my favorite because those underdog stories, what's going to happen to those kids? They have grit, right? And they're going to better themselves and do great things. All right? Career development. Nelson Mandela, one of my favorite leaders in the entire world. I love Nelson and all he's about. Education is the most powerful weapon for changing the world, okay? The most powerful weapon for changing the world. So we talked about motivation, time management, self-esteem, and assertiveness. But if we're not ready to be career developed, if we're not ready to have a career, then all of those were really a waste of time, right? So, develop leadership skills. I can't tell you how important to develop those leadership skills can be to this workforce, okay? This workforce would much rather see someone that they're hired be able to lead people and be able to follow people, okay? You gotta follow before you can lead. You gotta learn how to do that. What do you like to do? No one wants to go to work for 40 hours, or let's be honest, more than that in some cases, 40 hours a week or more doing something that they absolutely hate. What's going to happen to your self-esteem? You're not going to have any. What's going to happen to your time management? It's going to suck. You're not going to want to be there. You're going to show up late and leave early, right? Your assertiveness will not be there. You just won't care, okay? And you will have absolutely no motivation to go to that job, right? So, making sure you know what you like. Take career aptitude tests. One of my favorite career development stories when it comes to students happened in 2015, same grade as Haley and Shelby. I had a student call me in January, her last semester. It was January of 2015. She called me freaking out 3 days before school started. She was a nursing major. And she said, Allison, I just went to Dallas and I took this career aptitude test and it told me that I should, my nursing was like 97th on the list out of 100. And she was like, I don't think I should be a nurse. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good test. It took 2 days. It was a 2-day deal. But Ag Communications was first. So, somehow, by the grace of God, we fixed her schedule. She graduated with an ag degree on time and now is working with Temple Grandin at Colorado State University, just wrapped up her master's. Because she did that, because she took initiative and took that career aptitude test, she now is in a place that she loves. And she's in a career that she doesn't feel like she's going to work at. She feels like she's doing what she loves. So that's awesome. Don't just follow the money, okay? Raise your hand if any of you want to go into any type of education. Okay? If you are doing that, okay, I promise you will not do that for the money. I promise. I'll show you my pay stub, okay? We do things that we love because it affects us in here, right? We don't do things for the money. And money is really good. It's awesome. But it's not what's going to drive us every day. It's not going to wake us up every day and say, I'm going to chase that paycheck every day, okay? So don't just follow the money. Use internships. Use our career services. Those are so important in terms of how you're going to develop that career readiness, okay? So if you take all of those, motivation, time management, assertiveness, self-esteem, and career development, if you look at all of those, we, NEO A&M College, the faculty and staff here are great, are superb at making that happen for each and every one of you. But here's the little trick. You have to let us help. You have to ask for help. You have to ask questions. You have to be assertive for your education and for your life, okay? But the next thing that you have to do is want to do it. Want to wake up in the morning. Want to go to class. Want to study. Want to do good on exams and do good in your classes. Want a good GPA to get into your next step, whether that's a trade, whether that's another university. Make sure that you are being assertive with that, okay? So to you, this piece of paper up here just looks like a crinkled up steno yellow pad that says no excuses. But to a student that we had 12 years ago, this absolutely changed their life. Okay, absolutely changed their life. This student came here from a couple states away. It was in Indiana. She was from Indiana, little northeastern part of Indiana, excuse me. Came down here, didn't know a soul. Came down here on a very small book judging scholarship. It was a book scholarship to judge livestock. She came here, moved into the dorms, didn't really like her roommate. 2 weeks into it, she decided, you know what, this isn't for me. Maybe my family was right. Maybe everybody that told me I couldn't make it in college, maybe they were onto something. And maybe I should go home. So she decided the Thursday night before the Friday that you can add and drop classes that she was going to just hang her hat up with this whole college thing, and she started the withdrawal process on Friday, the last day that you can add and drop classes. And as she packed her little black Dodge Dakota, her entire room up, had checked out of her dorm, had checked out all of the boxes that you would need to if you were to withdraw, which you won't because I won't let you. And went to get one more signature from her advisor. Well, her advisor taught a lot, and on Friday afternoons taught until 3:30. She went into that advisor's office right after he got done teaching. And if you don't know much about the admissions in the business office, they close at 4 o'clock on Fridays. So she had a very small window to get home, or to get everything done to not get charged for classes. So she goes into her advisor's room, his name was Mr. Fent, Mr. Roger Fent. Those of you from around the Ottawa County area, that probably rings a bell. So she walked in there. She said, you know, Mr. Fent, thanks for everything that you have done for me. Shook his hand and said, but college isn't for me. And he looked at her and started laughing, you know, as her self-esteem just like plummets to the ground, right? And he said, give me 5 minutes. This was about 3:45. 2.5 hours later, so it's like 6 o'clock, and the business and admissions offices were closed. She then discovered, she had her first come to Jesus meeting with Roger Fent, which was great. In that meeting, changed her life. He told her a lot of things. He said, you could be the student body president of this college next year. He said, you could get a degree and you could come and take my job. 2008 to 2009, the next year, she was voted in the student body president. In 2013, she got a call that he was retiring, and he wanted her to apply for one of the positions for his job. In that meeting, he wrote that big piece of paper right there. It says no excuses. He said there's no excuse why you can't become the student body president. There's no excuse why you can't become a great ag teacher. There's no excuse. There's no excuse why you can't have a good GPA. Okay, that student was me. Someone cared enough about me from a 700-mile radius. I mean, I didn't know a soul here at NEO or in Miami or in Oklahoma, to be quite honest with you. Somebody took a chance on me. Okay? I'm here to tell you that those 5 aspects of self-management that we just talked about, you have no excuse to not be great at them. Be great at time management if you're not. Help yourself be more assertive. Help yourself have good self-esteem. Help yourself be more motivated. And if you need motivation, come and find a faculty or staff member and we'll show you good motivation. There's nobody on this campus, and our sophomores can attest to this, there's absolutely nobody on this campus that comes here every day for a paycheck. You know why they come here? Because they love you and they love their job. They love what they do every day. They don't wake up chasing a paycheck. They wake up because they want to help students like you and your generation. Okay? So, sophomores, if you could do that, please. I have a little piece of paper for you. Oh, I'm almost that time, sorry. I have an assignment for you. So we're gonna pass that out right now. And it is stapled. And so what you're gonna do is fill this out. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. I want you to read the directions on it, and you're going to give this assignment to your mentor. That mentor is then going to give that assignment to your instructor that will be instructing your 12:30 class, okay? Haley and Shelby are still here, I think. Yep. If you have any questions for them, they would be more than happy to, yeah, go ahead and pass it out. They would be more than happy to answer them. Does anybody have any questions for me?